This is Cheryl Manley from Sharing Love of Paper. I'm so glad you could join me today. I just got 3 new scrapbooking workshop kits and I can't wait to show them to you. This one is in the current Stampin' Up! Catalog and is like the previous scrapbooking workshop kits that I've used and demonstrated. The other 2 are brand new, not available until early September, and represent an exciting change in the scrapbooking workshop kits that Stampin' Up! Has started creating with the July exclusives release. I was interested to see what the differences might be and thought you might be as well. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll go ahead and start with this current one. It's called Heirloom Boutique. I'm eager to use it. The papers and layouts are so pretty, and I think it will be perfect for my heritage albums because the papers can easily pass for vintage patterns. Of course, they're so pretty they could be used for other photos as well. Anyway, as I said, this one is made in the same way as previous kits that we've put together. One of the big differences you'll see is in the instruction brochure. So just in case you're not familiar with these, let's look at that. This is what we've been used to. Here are the 3 double-page layouts that this kit is designed to make. I don't know how well you can see them on screen, but they are really pretty layouts labeled Project 1, Project 2, and Project 3. And then for each project, this grid lists the sizes of photos I'll need for each project if I make them exactly as they've done. So for example, project number 1 needs 2 3x4 portrait sized. That would be those 2. It needs 2 3x4 landscape size. That would be those 2. And it needs 1 4x6 landscape, which would be that one. Then we have our cutting guides that show us exactly how we need to cut each paper. Down here it shows both the front and back of the paper. On the cutting guide, the asterisk means that you want to use the back side of the paper. It's not hard, but you do need to pay attention. Then it goes through and shows the different layouts and shows what you need to prepare and how to assemble each one. It's pretty straightforward. The other thing I want to compare is what comes in the kit. Here are the photo placement holders. And let's see, what do we have in this kit? I have 5 pages of double-sided prints. Then I have 4 pages of single-sided prints. I think this is going to be so pretty when I get it made up. And then I have 5 sheets of two-tone cardstock and 2 sheets of white willow. Then I have a couple sheets of punch-outs. Punch-outs are so nice. They make it so easy to create my titles, my journaling blocks, and my embellishments. Of course, on the back of each punch-out, it lists the project number it goes with. And finally, I have this sticker sheet. I always like the border stickers when they have them. This is such a pretty set, and I look forward to making up these 3 scrapbook projects. So that's the old style of scrapbooking workshop kits. The number of pages included fluctuates a bit depending on the layouts, but you get the idea. Now, these next 2 are the new style of scrapbooking workshop kits, available in early September. I'll show you this one first. It's called Home for Christmas. It's going to be really nice for making some Christmas pages. I can either save them and use them with pictures from this upcoming Christmas, or I can use them to get caught up on some of the past Christmases that I don't have in scrapbooks yet. Once again, I've got the photo placement holders. I'll start by showing this instruction sheet. This is where it gets really different. You'll notice that there's no grid down here listing photo sizes needed. Instead, they're printed right here on these layouts. And instead of numbers, there are letters. So this is Project A, Project B, and Project C. Those don't look to be that big of a change. But when you open the instruction sheet, you'll see there's quite a difference. First, there are no cutting guides. I'll show you why in just a minute. Also notice that there are very few written instructions. They just tell you what you need in cutting utensils and adhesives and explain that the projects are labeled with a letter to show which project they're for and a number to show the order in which you add the pieces. Easy. Because the pieces are numbered in the order you need to use them, you don't need written instructions telling you that. You just need to see where the various pieces go, and that's what these pictures show you. So for example, for project A, piece A1 goes here, A2 goes here, A3 goes there, A4 there, and A5 there. You can see where to place the punch-outs by looking in the picture, and then you can add the stickers, which are noted by asterisks on the pictures. So it really is pretty straightforward. But why no cutting guides? Well, here's why. We have these pretty red and white papers, and they just have a printed A on the back. That tells me these are designed to be the base pages for layout A. When I look at this one, it has A5 printed on the back and cutting lines printed right there for me to use to cut it out. So that piece is what I will cut to go right there. That's A5. Now notice, in the past, the plain colors would have been two-tone cardstock. This is not cardstock, it's paper with the cutting guidelines on the back. So I don't have to look at the cutting guide and worry about which side I'm supposed to use after I've cut it. All I have to do is turn it over and cut. Similarly with this piece, it shows me the cutting guidelines. Now this white willow is cardstock weight. The colored pieces aren't, but this is. This one says A1, that one says A3. This one has B's. So this would be, if we look at the layout, A1 is this piece, A3 is that piece, and A5 is that piece. We still need A2 and A4, so let's keep looking through to see where those are. So this is for B. It has B3, B7, B8. This has B4. And this just has B, so these must be background pages for that set. This one has a couple of C's, and here we have a bunch of white cardstock being cut from mats, I would guess. And these two would be background pages for project C, and another white to cut. Ah, this looks like what we're looking for. Yes, so here are the two things I would cut. This one, cut right there, is going to be for project A. There are two of them, and I have two sheets here. And then this bottom one will be for project C. Notice that on many of these we have lots of pieces left over, so we can make these layouts our own. We don't have to make them identical to theirs, though that gives us a very good start. I really like what I've seen so far. Here are our two punch-out sheets, and again they say on the back what project they go with. And then here is the sticker sheet, and again it's got those borders on the bottom. I really do like having those long borders. This is a really neat kit. 3 great Christmas layouts. And then this is the last one that I just got. It again is the new style. I thought the papers and layouts were really pretty, and I could use it for heritage albums as well as more current ones. Here are the layouts. They're so pretty. I'll add my own touches as I usually do, but they're great the way they are. Again, we have our photo placeholders, and then there are these papers. Again, they have the cutting guidelines on the back. These are such pretty papers. So I'm just quickly showing you what we get in this kit. Again, I noticed that except for the white, the plain colors are more like paper than cardstock. It's definitely paperweight. I don't mind that at all. To me, paper works just as well as cardstock, and it's so nice to have the cutting guidelines. The only thing I wouldn't do with them is to use leftovers for a card base or mechanism, but then I wouldn't usually use the two-tone cardstock for that either. I like the heavier weight of the standard cardstock for things like that. Isn't this paper pretty? And here are the punch-outs. Such pretty punch-outs. Pretty papers, pretty colors. Both this set and the first one I showed you make use of the new in colors, and I think they're so pretty. And here's the sticker sheet. I think to get a better feel for what this is like, instead of translating from the cutting guidelines like we've done in the past, I'll just cut one of these to see how I feel about using the pre-printed cutting guidelines. I'll do that with this Christmas set. So those are base pages. I'll set them aside. This one needs to be cut. I'll just line it up with the cutting guideline and cut. Then I'll turn and cut along that guideline. Okay, this is piece A5. I'll set it with the other A pieces. And then this is left over so I can use it for something else. I can either use it to add additional to these scrapbook pages, use it with my stash to make coordinating layouts, or just save it for making cards. This, again, I'm just following the cutting guidelines. I'm just setting the scrap aside to use later, and I'll put this with the other A pieces. There's one of those. This is done in exactly the same way. That was A1, this is A3. As you can see, I've sped this video up. As slow as I am in cutting these because I want to be precise, you don't need to watch it in real time. Now this one, it shows cutting all the way down to the bottom, but I don't think I'll do that because we only need this piece. I'll just cut it to there, then turn it, and just cut there. And now all of that is extra, and this is for B. So I need to start a pile for B. This one is again going to be for B. I'm just following these cutting guidelines. No measuring, no worry about did I get the right orientation or am I cutting it right? I just follow the guidelines. And this again, all extra. And here are my B pieces. And what is this? Okay, this is B4. Again, I'll cut down to the bottom of the piece I need, then turn it and cut to meet the first cut. So that's my piece for B, and that's my leftovers. And I think these two, yes, those are the background pages for Project B. All right, what is this? Okay, now I'm cutting pieces for C. All this is left. I'm going to be able to make some great projects with the leftovers. Okay, let me just quickly look at this. I'm going to cut C1 and C8, but I think I won't cut the other ones. Yes, the others are for photo mats. I won't cut those right now because often I print my photos so I can just cut them with a white border and not worry about matting them. I can always cut these later if I decide I want them. In the meantime, I've got these two pieces that I'm cutting. One thing I notice is that when I cut from the back, it gives me a bit of a lip on the front edges. I worried about that, but I think that if I just take my fingernail or a bone folder and press that edge down, it will be fine. And yes, that won't be a problem at all. I do like that the numbers are printed on the back so I know both what project they go with and the order in which to add them to my page. Okay, then these two are the backgrounds for C, and this, once again, I'm going to look at this. Okay, there's B1. I definitely want to cut that. And where's B6? Yes, I'll want to cut that too. But C4, I think, is another photo mat. Yes, so I won't worry about cutting that one. I will go ahead and cut B1, and I will turn it and cut it like this. And I think I'm going to wait before I cut B6, because if I decide not to cut C4, I'll cut B6 out of this scrap rather than cutting into that larger piece that I could use for something else. So I will just set those aside for now, and this goes with B. Now I'll cut those borders from this pretty paper. All of that is extra. I do like having the cutting lines printed on the back. This is so easy. I'm honestly surprised at how big a difference it makes, because I've never had any problem with the way the previous cutting guides were done. Okay, this is A4, so that goes with A, and this is C9, that goes with C, and then this is extra. And this one needs to be cut exactly the same way. Oh, that's reminding me, this showed cutting it off a bit shorter. Why is that? Oh yes, it goes on that smaller white piece. I do want to cut it that way. Okay, there's that one, and we'll need to do the same with this one. I like to have the biggest piece of paper facing toward the left as I cut them, and with the lines on the paper, it's so easy to just rotate it when needed. Okay, so this is C, this is extra, and I need to rotate and cut it a bit shorter. There. Now what do we have here? I'm thinking I'll wait to cut these, and I think I'll wait to punch these out until I'm actually ready to put the page together. These will make some great layouts. All in all, between the printed cutting lines and the printed letters and numbers on the back of the pieces, this is so easy. I think these new kits will make my projects go much faster. I'd like to hear what you think about the change in these kits. Let me know in the comments below. As always, I hope you will choose me, Cheryl Manley, as your demonstrator when you purchase any Stampin' Up! Products. It won't cost you any extra, and I'll get a small commission to help support my channel. Of course, all the Stampin' Up! Images you've seen are copyright Stampin' Up! And please click that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks, and have a great day.